Oh wow, how did this happen? Well, let's just say there is a very obvious reason why IGN is going out of business. Because it gives good games 7 out of 10s because, there's too much water, obviously. Probably the actual reason. And then it gives garbage, 10 out of 10 because they got paid. In any case, Subnautica's current situation is pretty interesting to say the least. Most people are happy, but there is a growing number of people who are not exactly that happy about it. And there currently is one massive issue that people are bringing up with Subnautica. Overall, honestly, it's not the biggest one. It is impacting people, but people for the most part don't seem to care that much. When you look at SteamDB, it still has a 91% overall positive review score, and that is a lot, okay? 59k reviews, almost 60k, and the player graph looks pretty decent. It has lost like roughly 1/3 of its player base over 3 days now. But honestly, it's an early access game, so it's not the end of the world. People are gonna be back naturally, and well, it's not the biggest drop ever. Plus, in 3 days, you can actually kind of finish everything you want in Subnautica, as far as I know. Haven't played the game. Subnautica is not my thing, but it is what it is. I have checked what people are saying. A lot of people still obviously having fun. And the graph is honestly very strong. This is what a good graph looks like. Obviously, it's not the world's best graph, but this is still like better than 99% of the competition. So, Subnautica 2 is going pretty well. And also, they have announced a lot of updates. This is the early access launch. We are literally here. And then we are going to be expecting 1.1 and 1.2 to be announced. And it's going to have a bunch of good updates. Biomod system, blight encounters, Rex gameplay, vehicle docking and fabrication, PDA, databank, whatever the hell that is, voice logs, priority system, whatever the hell also that is. And this is just the quality of life stuff. So they are kind of listening to player feedback, but we will talk about the bad things very soon, but first the good stuff, because there's a decent amount of it, and it should be mentioned. Co-op centric updates, HUD signals, base building tools, pin recipes system, whatever that is, and the big future to be announced and delivered expansion updates and just basic free updates, which is the big ones. Expand the world, new biomes, creatures, resources, tools, vehicles, character-centered story. I'm sure that one is not gonna be woke, okay? Don't worry about it, boys. Don't worry about it. There's no way. And now, the thing that people are slowly becoming very upset about. Subnautica 2 is still doing good, and this hasn't done damage to it, but people are slowly but certainly getting pretty upset about the situation. And that is the fact that Subnautica 2 Steam EULA is absolutely insane. It is off the fucking wall, okay? On first launch, players must accept detailed end-user license agreement, and players are worried that after reading it. The agreement grants a license to play the game rather than transferring ownership. This is your classical stuff. You don't own anything on Steam, so this kind of honestly can almost be overlooked. This effectively just allows the game devs to ban you if need be. I don't know if they're gonna ban anyone, but this is kind of just that for most of the part. It includes restrictions on streaming, screenshots, recordings, and certain type of content creation or monetization after requiring disclaimers. The publisher retains the right to revoke access for specific reasons. Terms may be updated unilaterally, which means at any point if they say, hey buddy, you agreed to our terms 5 years ago, and now the terms state that you are a slave to Krafton. Well, shit, pack your bags. Oh, wait, actually, slaves don't need bags. In any case, that's how these things are gonna work. Now, granted, that's an extreme example, which could, by the way, technically happen, which is the funny part. It's not gonna happen, but it technically can. With users expected to review changes, the agreement covers data collecting practice involved personal and device information, and this is the big one. This is really the big one, and this is the only part that really matters. Because the reality is, with everything that, with all of the stuff in the EULA about using Subnautica 2, effectively people have figured out that, well, Subnautica 2 is effectively malware. Yes, it kind of functions like malware to a degree, and people are not happy about this. Now, granted, I knew this for this moment I did the first video where about Subnautica launching, because one of the most popular comments was the fact that this game is actual malware. Predatory as hell. Subnautica 2 EULA sets $50 max damage payout limited, bans VPN use, and has fans very concerned. That's by Eurogamer, by the way. Needless to say, Eurogamer did not receive the mixtape treatment, it seems like. And we have the fun fucking facts, okay? Jacksepticeye, friend of the channel, great guy, we talk daily, I bang his wife. He doesn't have a wife, I don't know a lot about him, but we talk daily, okay? That's what matters. Friend of the channel. He plays Subnautica 2, and now Krafton can sue him for millions. That's what people are posting, because this is technically true. Jacksepticeye has violated the Subnautica EULA as he makes money off his YouTube videos and didn't include the video that the video isn't Krafton supported. Yes. Technically, now granted, I say technically, but if Krafton decided to actually unironically sue him, they could win, because he is breaking their terms and conditions. Rib Jack, fly high, my Irish brother. Well, the Irish typically don't fly, they crawl, because the only Irish dilemma is how to consume the potato right now, or wait until it fermentates and then consume it as a drink. In any case, it's pretty insane. Very unfortunate news for Subnautica 2 enjoyers. If you read the EULA, Krafton is very much still connected and stealing your data. Yes, because obviously. There have been a lot of cases where games are stealing your data, and Krafton is, without any question at this point, just effectively malware style stealing your data and then reselling it. IGN, the owner of this is just a funny one. IGN, the owner of a leaked copy of Subnautica 2 appears to have accidentally revealed themselves after contacting the game's developer for support, which is hilarious, because if you did not know, Subnautica's 2 final build, final TM, I guess. Final build got leaked a couple of days before the game actually launched. So this is also where people are speculating that Subnautica 2 did lose a couple of maybe hundreds of thousands of sales because of the leak, and this was done by an individual, and no one knew who this individual is, and now potentially that guy kind of exposed himself, and that's all she wrote. In any case, Subnautica 2 is doing still pretty good, but needless to say, people are gonna... Currently, the fact that the EULA is literally, we're gonna sell you into slavery and there's nothing you can do about it, is something that people don't care too much about, but at the same time, a lot of people don't know about it. So this could actually explode as a situation. I don't personally think it will. I think people are going to be fine with it for the majority. I do think there's going to be a specific amount of people who do, obviously, hate this and not buy Subnautica 2 because of it, or refund it, or whatever the fuck. But, you know, I don't think this is going to honestly dent Subnautica 2 too much. Unless the drop that we are seeing in 3 days, which is well, in one day, honestly, which has been roughly 1/3 of the player base, is because people got outraged by the malware situation, which I don't think happened. So, that's pretty much it. Subnautica 2, good fun game, people like it, but I mean, it is malware at the end of the day, and Krafton may sue you in case you don't like the fact that it's malware. 10 out of 10. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like the video right now. Thanks for listening a second, and thank you for doing that. Have a nice day. Bye.